Rocket engines. We all know the NAR safety code, and we all know that it's legal to store ESTITs or other commercial motors basically however you want. But wouldn't it be nicer to have a secure rocket magazine to store them in? Here's the final product of this video, your very own rocket magazine, perfectly sized for model rocket engines. To start, gather your materials. The design simply requires a 2 foot by 2 foot metal plate, one 10 foot 2x4, at least 3 feet of 2x2, screws, hinges, 2 padlocks, and 2 hasps and staples. The main wooden box is made out of 1 foot segments of wood. As you can see in the model, the link to this model is in the description, 7 segments of 2x4s and 3 segments of 2x6s are required. For my magazine, I decided to make the 2x6s by joining 2x4s and 2x2s. If you do this, you can nicely use up an entire 10 foot segment of 2x4. However, if you want, the design can also be made using 3 segments of 2x6s and 7 segments worth of 2x4s. To assemble the bottom and the lid, 3 2x4s must be joined on their long edge. If you don't have 4-inch screws like I did, find a drill bit larger than the screw head and drill a hole approximately halfway through the 2x4. Then you simply insert screws into the hole and sink them in. If you don't want those holes visible, you can get wooden dowels, cut them to length, and glue them into place to make the bottom and lid seamless. Assemble the rest of the box according to the model. Now, a few coats of stain and waterproofer later, this collection of 2x4s is transformed into a pretty respectable looking box. To make the magazine somewhat fireproof from accidental ignition, and just to make it look more badass, cut rectangles out of the metal sheet. The sizes are also in the description. After sanding the edges of the metal, drill small pilot holes in each of the corners of the metal. To give the magazine an extra professional look and make it safer, I countersunk the interior screws. To do so, first mark the locations of the screw holes by marking through the pilot holes in the metal. Take a drill bit slightly smaller than the screw head and drill approximately 1/8 of an inch into the wood. This allows you to nicely countersink the screws. Mount all the metal plates except the hinge side plate, this side. On that side, chisel out the wood to create an area to mount the hinges, as if you were mounting a door. Mark and install the hasps and staples and you're done. Now you have your own rocketry magazine to securely and safely store your rocket engines.